Hey everyone, welcome back. Last week we talked all about the Switch and all of that. Have you played anything since we...
Yeah, Cranberry. I've been playing. What's it called? Mario Kart World. Yeah, that's such a great game, man. I love it. You remember I haven't played uh, Mario. I didn't play eight, so it's been over 11 years. What was the Mario Kart before that? Was
The one on the Wii?
on the
The
Wii,
Wii?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one was that? I forget. Seven, right?
Was it actually called 7?
I can't remember. Anyways, it's been a long time.
What was... The GameCube one was Double Dash, I think.
Yeah, that was good. I think that was the last one. No, I played the Wii one for sure.
Oh,
If
it was...
a
No,
Wii.
yeah. Okay, it was called Mario Kart Wii. Okay.
Yeah, I played
Okay.
that. So it's been a long time since I played a Mario Kart. You
But
remember I
how
skipped
much have you actually played? This is Tim. So did you play
at least a
two?
couple hours.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna
far.
check,
Well,
people. I'm gonna check on.
that's another thing I don't like about Nintendo system is for like a week or two, or until you get to a certain threshold of hours, it just says you started playing it 7 days ago,
It's 10.
and it doesn't give a
No,
pro-
it's
it-
10
it-
days. So after 10 days,
Oh, after 10.
yeah, it'll tell
That's
you.
so stupid, man. Well, anyways, we're not here to bash Nintendo's.
Yeah,
computer or
I
online
actually
system,
don't.
But
I don't know why.
I don't understand why they do that.
I don't know why
Every
they
other
did that.
system. Now I do prefer thinking of which I do prefer like Steam's compared to Xbox. Xbox does by day, so after 24 hours it becomes 1 day, then 2 day, then 3 day. I like the hours, right? Like Steam has it best. You played 1,000 hours, you played
Well,
1,000 hours.
Nintendo used to have their log there, on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to go. I don't know why they changed that, but because like
But anyways,
man,
that's a minor thing.
I must be at like 40 or 50 hours now in Fantasy Life. I've been having a really good time with that. It's kind of funny. And the first thing I wanted to say is like now I've got a lot of experience now with the Switch 2 and stuff, and the battery is definitely better than the Steam Deck. Like that I can confirm.
That's good.
Like the games, like I'm not having to put it in docked mode or charge it when it's in portable mode quite as frequently. But I think the biggest that could be the games. So let me put a caveat there. That could very well be the games. It's entirely possible that, I put Cyberpunk in and it drains the battery, but I don't think so. But the biggest improvement, like for me anyway, is that the Steam Deck can burn my hands. Like if you touch the back of it, for like, let's say I like to do my Fallout dailies on the Steam Deck because it's super quick. I can do it in like 20 minutes, boom, done. And within 20 minutes, the back of the machine is not warm, it's hot. Like,
Ooh, that's bad.
hot.
Everything should go ARM, man, because ARM uses less power, generates less heat. But
I think that is ARM. What the
is it? You sure about that?
I'm not sure.
'Cause ARM doesn't.
but
ARM doesn't usually get too hot. Usually, I mean, who knows it?
yeah,
Optimization.
well
of the
anyways,
design.
but it's super impressive, seriously, considering that the Switch 2 is thinner. It gets warm, like don't get me wrong.
Oh no, it
certainly
does. It gets warmer than the Switch one does.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It
doesn't get
nowhere
hot, like,
near as hot as my Steam Deck. Like my Steam Deck, man. Like damn, man. And that's even me lowering the wattage output and stuff to maintain like a lower FPS.
Does it have fans?
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and believe me, you can hear it. It sounds like a jet engine is taking
Uh,
off. So
yeah, I don't
just that's actually pretty impressive. Like I'm pretty impressed with that.
Well, I don't know. I did have it in tabletop mode when I played to test with you and play a little bit of Mario Kart before the podcast. But to let you know that Elgato works fine. Obviously, I need to when the games start getting the better resolution support, I have to upgrade it though.
Oh, I
because
told
the
you.
Switch 2 detects that it can only do 1080p.
Yeah.
So, but Elgato, because I read online, there was a bunch of people having trouble, but who knows what their setup's like. But yeah, no, Elgato works perfectly fine. No
mine too.
issues.
Mine
I
too.
do have to upgrade it though, but not for now. Mario Kart's perfectly fine.
So
what was I gonna say? But yeah, other than that, my Mario Kart still has that touch of magic or Nintendo charm, whatever you want to call it, that hardly any developer. Because I like Disney Steam Store. There's some innovations there or changes there that I wish Nintendo would do. But it's like you can't beat the whole Mario chaos and stuff like that. The Steam the Disney one is more of a, it's a kart racer, of course. It's more focused on like competitive. Not, I wouldn't say competitive. Yeah, more. I get it's not so item focused. I mean, there's items and it's similar, but it's just a little bit more. I think a little bit more, competitive kind of feature gameplay. I think over the Mario Kart. Not that Mario Kart's not competitive. You have sweats.
I was gonna say, dude, are you kidding? It's like the world's like.
Yeah. There's sweats out there.
If you really want to play Kart, I'm gonna check on him after because I don't trust this guy. He's like, it's gonna say like has played for 20 minutes. But
I don't think Ahmed
has been.
How's he been playing it?
Oh well, pretty good. If you're listening to this dude, chime in. Let us know what like you think. But he was telling me the other day that he's starting to get into it and do his rounds and stuff like that. But it's funny because Cranberry was saying the same thing as Steven and I, where it's like the number one game that we're all playing is pretty much Fantasy Life. Like that's the. I don't know why,
but I'm talking about Switch owners overall. I don't think that's the case.
No. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say,
but it's just funny.
And I've seen Cranberry streams, dude. Hey, man, it's too goofy, too silly, and.
Oh, look at this! He's insulting you, Cranberry. You gonna take that?
No, she does play games that I have absolutely no interest in. No,
okay. But we got news, man. We got news. We're rambling here. So the big news, guaranteed you didn't watch this. Guaranteed you didn't watch this.
Which one?
The Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct.
Oh, no, I did. And I was going to talk to you about that. That I actually looks like I might buy it because it looks a lot better than what I thought. I just thought it was going to be a normal 3D platforming game. No, man. The digging, that's actually pretty good, by the way. Anyone who knows about development, the world's pretty damn. Usually with those type of games where you can dig, I mean, I don't know how extensive it is and destructive, but by the looks of it, the visuals are very nice because traditionally those type of games requires a lot of, what's it called? Thought processing powers, so they make those type of games tend to be very weak visually because it's geometry required to do those renderings for the world, digging mechanics and all that is physics are not as easy as people think. So props to Nintendo for doing. I mean, and we have to get our hands on to see how extensive. Can I literally go around and destroy everything, or is it just certain segments? But by the video, it looked like you could destroy anything you want. So it doesn't look like you're limited. So plus, there's a lot of unlockables and stuff, and yeah, the visuals are really, really good, man. And I mean, what else is there for the Switch for me, man? It's like nothing. All these third-party games, like I said, I probably wouldn't get on the Switch 2 anyways. So. Street Fighter,
you've been saying about Street Fighter. You're never buying Street Fighter. Let it go.
Oh, I just bought it on PC. But...
So there's two things that I wanted to discuss with this. Guys, go check it out. My prediction with this is you're going to have Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Those are going to be the 2 Game of the Year contenders. That's my... That's my prediction.
When's the last time a platformer game was
last year?
Game of the Year material. Which one? Oh,
Astrobot 1.
Crap meme game.
No, that was really honestly. It's funny because it's like that was an excellent game. With this, it's cool because they're pushing. It's innovative. Like Nintendo's doing something different. But the two things I wanted to say about this game, one is the file size. It's 8.5 gigabytes. That's it.
Whoa, it's impressive.
It's crazy, man. Like I wonder
how big the world is then.
No, I'm sure it's gargantuan. It's Nintendo. It's crazy. It's like Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It's like microscopic.
Yeah, why is it? They're very good.
Because I'll tell you why. They don't use Unreal. That's why. Unreal Engine, while it's good, it's like Windows. It's bloated, man.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't use all components of the engine, you still get the file size, which is that's the catch.
I'm surprised Nintendo still makes their own engine because from a cost development point, it's easier just to license it out to Unreal, right?
Yeah, so I'm curious.
You don't have to develop it yourself, and it's good for. Well, they're not cross-platform, but if they were, they probably would be on Unreal because then they could port it over to other systems.
Yeah, for sure. But still, that's very impressive.
man.
That's very impressive to be that low.
not just Nintendo, but a lot of the Japanese, Capcom's still on the RE engine, which I don't know why. It's just, they're very different, very different mindset.
I think you're going to see more
developers.
and more like the third parties. I think you're going to see them going more and more Unreal, only for what you just said. So much easier to port.
Market,
yeah, it's just so much easier to port. So anyway, so that was the first thing. The second thing I wanted to mention about Donkey Kong Bonanza, I was talking to Steven on Game Chat about this a little bit, and he's so funny because he's like, I don't think it'll be a problem or anything, and I hope he's right. I truly do hope he's right. But what the hell are they called? The what is it? Hold on. I always forget what their abbreviation is. Nintendo's Entertaining, Planning, and Development Division. There you go. So that group has basically made every single 3D Mario forever. And they haven't trusted any other developer to handle 3D Marios. And they even go so far as to lend out some of their staff to the 2D Marios to make sure, like, the mechanics, the feel, the essence, the soul of Mario is there. Now, the reason I say this, okay, do you want to say something? I don't want to cut you off.
Well, it's kind of interesting that they, I mean, like I said, Nintendo has a certain quote-unquote magic about them, or their style, which is great. But honestly, there's a lot of devs, man. There's a lot of Mario Party clones, other third parties that do just about as good job, if not sometimes better than Nintendo. Nintendo still does a really good job with visuals, but yeah. So this trust issue, man, it's like,
well,
let it go, man.
I'm saying that, right? Like
you're saying that. Oh, you don't know.
I'm just.
But I think it's very true because Nintendo's very protective of their IPs.
Yeah, so, like, you know, they've been more or less responsible for, like, they were renamed and everything like that, but they've basically been responsible for, like, all the 3D Marios, and I get it, right? It's like Walt Disney, right? Back in the day, they weren't gonna just lend out Mickey Mouse.
They did. Now Disney's
they took over the world.
Hood rat. Yeah, Disney's a street hood rat. They don't care as long as they make money.
Well, that's
they license everything out.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I mean, think of when I worked at Disney, they got rid of. They still had their internal game development. Then they decided when I was there that nope, done.
Yeah,
let it go. They let which is probably better because they can focus on other stuff. Dude, gaming's hard. People think, we have keyboard warriors that sit there. All these companies, they hate us. They don't realize how difficult it is to make a breakthrough game and stuff like that. It's not an easy market. A lot of games fail. A lot of games big success, but yeah, it's not easy. It's a very cutthroat market, and yeah, Disney probably just wasn't interested in it anymore.
So this is not confirmed. Okay, what I'm about to say is not confirmed at all. But I mean, if you know anything about Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey, like, just play those games and watch that trailer or that 15-minute direct.
Yeah.
It's if it comes out and this game is not developed by that team, I will be shocked.
Now, dude, everyone's comments in the YouTube trailer they just released for the direct comments, all of us, Odyssey. Everyone said, I see Odyssey. It's gonna be a sequel to Odyssey. This is it. And then it's kind of funny because I'm gonna bring it up one more time. No one complained about the price though.
Yeah, you and the price. We're not talking prices anymore.
$10 less, and no one cares.
I've muted Tim on pricing.
Oh man, it's funny, dude.
But seriously, so here's the thing. Maybe Steven's right. Like, maybe I'm just like.
What do you say? It won't matter. What is he talking about?
He's basically saying, like, they'll license out and this and that, or like maybe they split the team up and stuff. I'm just curious. I'm just really, really curious, because if it turns out that this is the Mario team, the 3D Mario team, right? These guys only make a handful of titles a generation, which, if it is them, then do you realize, like, we might not see a 3D Mario for a long time. But
you also have to remember Go ahead. Or finish up. I was gonna say the reports have also said, you remember the Switch 1, Nintendo made less first party games than they did previous systems, and two, they've already announced that they're going to be offshoring, outsourcing a lot, and they're not going to be developing as many titles. So you could be true. This could, and if you think about it, I've said this over the years, Nintendo never really makes a ton of games for their systems, and maybe that's what, like you said, what makes their games so special, and stuff like that. They don't milk the franchises dry like they, Electronic Arts. Every year there's a new Call of Duty movie release, so it's like it's not so special, right? Call of Duty, again, all right, whatever. Am I going to get this version? I'll skip a couple years. So yeah, maybe it's going to be interesting. Maybe we'll have less and less actual first party games and more second party games this time.
Well, I'm just curious because like you can't take the whole studio because it's Nintendo's main studio, right? So it's the same studio that makes Zelda, Mario, all of them. But if you just focus on that 3D Mario group, the last game they made was in 2017.
And that's what's amazing, man. It's the thing about Nintendo is it's like the last true Mario Kart was 11 years ago. I mean, like I said, we don't count the mobile and AR version; those are different. But yeah, and this is the first time in 25 years you had a new Donkey Kong platform game, right?
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like, if it is the Mario team and it's not a shootout,
come on, there has to be.
Well, I agree. Mario. No, I agree. But I'm just saying that
probably not towards maybe the end of the lifetime. Who knows?
But that would be so weird. That would be so weird to do that. Anyway, it's not a bad thing. It's just I was curious to hear what people think about that, because if maybe they split the team. If they split the team, then this whole conversation doesn't matter. Like, whatever, but it feels so much like that team. Even the co-op mode is so reminiscent of Galaxy. Like, it's just, I was like,
that co-op thing. I mean, I would love to know the percentage of how many people actually use that. It's so, I guess it's okay. Like, if you have a kid, they could pick up a controller. That's what I envision it as.
Dude, that's exactly what it's for.
That's what it is. Because two grown adults aren't going to.
No, man, no. The game's
Come on,
not.
Dude, no.
No, that's not. Yeah. The other thing that I really liked was the whole sharing, like the game share thing. Although I want Ahmed to chime in, because he said he tried something with his kids on like the regular Switch, and he was really disappointed that it was like super buggy and everything. But I'll let him chime in on.
Yeah, it kind of reminds. Steam has that. There's certain games that what's it called, Friend Pass or something of that nature, where you don't own the game, you just connect. So it's like a hyper terminal type technology where you connect and we play together. And for the most part, it works well on Steam, right? So I'm assuming Nintendo's a little probably in the learning curve in that regard.
So anyways, listen. All of that, like everything we just said, being said, like I'm really truly enjoying this thing. The game chat thing, it's so funny. I never ever thought I would say that, like, of all the companies right now, this is the easiest of all of them. Like, you don't need a headset.
Yeah, but it's limited though, man. It's limited. Like, you can't have the randoms in Mario Kart talk to random people.
Dude, game chat. I'm not talking about multiplayer. Just talking.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's so handy. Like, you'll see the next time I see you online, you'll see you don't need a mic, don't need a headset, don't need anything, and you don't hear background noise. You don't, like, I was shocked at how good this worked. It is now my favorite, like, form.
So you and Steven
all the time, like almost every day. He'll see me online. I'll get a little thing saying you've been invited to a game chat. I click on the game chat. It decreases my in-game volume, and then that's it. We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, because we did that, but we weren't in the game, so.
But that's the thing, and like it works very, very good without a headset.
I guess
it's
better, but I prefer Discord, right?
Yeah, okay, but Discord's not a great solution if you're, like console and stuff. It's cumbersome. It's not as easy as just literally doot doot. There you go, you're done.
Oh yeah,
and the fact that
because my PC and Switch 2,
of course,
Switch 1 are right next to the PC, right?
Yeah.
So here's a Switch 2 down here,
exactly,
right there. Here's my PC right here,
yeah, exactly.
Monitor right there. So yeah, for me. Discord's perfect, right?
Yeah, but if I do
can
see
understand.
you, if I do see you online, you'll see you're going to get an invite because
Oh my
because
god! Hey,
you
can
don't
I
need to do
talk to
anything.
Steven
Dude,
too?
you
If you're
can
with Steven?
do whatever you want. It is think of
I
it
never see Steven online though.
exactly like Discord. It's pretty much identical to
Okay,
Discord.
cool. I never
Like,
see Steven online because I play when he's
oh
asleep.
yeah, you guys are literally like polar opposite time. Like,
But I have seen that he's been playing a lot of split
yeah, he
things.
plays split fiction with his girlfriend. He plays fantasy life like a lunatic. But it's
What's so
just
good about that? Try to sell it to
no,
me,
it's not
Jared. What's so good
selling.
about it?
No, there's no selling. It's just it's what's fun about it is it's basically 3 games in one. I don't
In
know how
one?
long this game was in development, but it must have been in development for a hell of a long time because you have what are called like time periods. Okay, so you have 3 different time periods. The first time period, present, is where it's Animal Crossing. So it's basically you have your own
I like Animal
island.
Crossing.
It's like your own island, so you can do farming, fishing, terraforming, building, all that stuff. Okay, like all that stuff. So that's one. Then you have the past. The past is basically the game's storyline. So you have one, two, three, 4 islands that you unlock as you progress through the story. And you have combat. You can be a mage. You can be a hunter. You can be but think of it like Diablo, like that. Like you can be multiple classes.
Oh, so it's more an action RPG.
Yeah, exactly. So that layer, that timeline, that whatever you want to call it, is basically your Diablo. It's like that, except your character is way bigger and it looks more Animal Crossing ish. But in that world, you can also turn into your various classes from the Animal Crossing world or time or whatever you want to call it.
They had. I
Okay.
don't remember classes and
No, 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 no.
Animal
But
Crossing.
when I say Animal Crossing, I'm talking about fishing, mining, all that kind of stuff. So in this game, there's, I think it's 14, 12 or 14, something like that, classes. So you have, like, okay, you have fishing, farming, woodcutter, and miner. Those are your gathering classes, okay? So anytime you would see like a gem or something like that, you just go up to it, press the A button, and you'll automatically turn into that class, and then you'll do a little mini game of like breaking the gem or whatever, or harvesting the gem. Same thing with trees, same thing with fish, same thing with farming, okay? Then you have another 4 classes that are in the crafting classes. So these would be things like a tailor, a painter, a blacksmith, and I forget what the hell the other one is. There's another one. I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. So you have those 4 classes, and then you have the 4 combat classes. So what is that? 12. There you go. So you have 12 classes in total. Combat, you typically just pick one and stick with it. Like you don't need to switch to all the other ones or whatever. And so that's that, okay? And so like as you progress through the game story, you're naturally going to be leveling up each one of these particular classes. You don't have to go and change into classes. It'll automatically do it for you, which is awesome. And then as you get better and better and better, right, at gathering, you're then going to build or craft better gear, better items, better weapons, better whatever, which in turn makes you a better hunter, a better mage, that's the loop. Like that's the.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the Steam page here. It's also by level 5. They're usually pretty good, and it's cross-platform multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I could play with you guys if I get it on the.
So
I might get it on the Switch.
Now, but wait though, whoa, hold up. I'm not done. The coolest thing is outside of all of that, okay? And let me tell you, man, that's a lot of content, okay? Just what I told you is a lot of content. By the way, Steven played 90 hours and didn't realize you could run. I taught him that yesterday.
Are you kidding?
It was hilarious.
Steven, that's so
dying.
funny.
He was dying of laughter. I'm like, dude, you played 90 hours of walking.
Wow.
Anyway, the last layer has a weird name like ginormous or some weird whatever. When you go onto that layer, world, timeline, whatever the hell you want to call it, when you go to that, it's Breath of the Wild. It's a completely open world that's broken down into, I think it's like 12 or 14 sections where you have the towers. Like if you go, you activate towers, it clears the map so you can actually see what's going on.
Well, it might be a good game.
Oh, wait. Then you have Breath of the Wild shrines. So you have dozens
that's where I saw
of
Cranberry.
shrines.
She was having fun. Like, yeah, it might be kind of fun.
So do you realize what I just said? Do you realize how much content?
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, to let you know, one of my Steam friends has 152.4 hours in it so far. And it was just released. Oh, actually,
no. It was, I think, May.
A month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's actually a month today.
So then on top of all of that, you also have these little dungeons that you can collect called treasure troves or something like that, or dungeon troves, or I forget what they're called. And you can plant those tree things. They're like a little seed, and it creates like a randomly generated dungeon. And then if you go in there, you can get all kinds of different loot and stuff like that. Now, here's a cool thing. I can pull you into those. I can pull you anywhere, okay? Like in the world, I can pull you. We can go to each island or whatever. So the two main things, because Cranberry and I, we started this like maybe last week or something like that. And we were both a little lost because we had just started the game and we didn't quite understand like what the hell we were doing. But Steven and I like started to play more in the multiplayer, and like now I understand how the multiplayer, like what it was really designed to do. So let's say you download the game and you come into my treasure trove. Let's just call it that. I don't know what it's called. You can basically just stand there, pick a class, any of the classes you want. It could be gathering, building, or the combat class. And I basically clear out the whole dungeon. You don't even have to touch your controller. You could literally just teleport in and go make a sandwich. And by the time you leave, you'll be almost level 50. Because you get all the experience from me, it's shared. You get all the loot, it's shared. And I can drag you from one floor to the other. So you don't even need to play. Now, obviously, it wasn't designed for that. But it's a great way of boosting players. And the second thing, so you can actually play them together. Like if you're both like level 50 or whatever, you do a level 50 dungeon, you can, help each other out. Or you go to that ginormous or whatever the hell it's called map, and you can explore the full Breath of the Wild. You could just explore the whole thing.
God, it sounds like this is just it sounds like it's a mixture of genres, which
it is.
Traditionally, it's a jack of all trades, master of none. So traditionally, when games are kind of quote unquote unfocused, where they try to do too many things, they tend to don't do a great job in any of them because it's.
Yeah, but
sounds like they're doing it good here.
They did, yeah, they really, really did. So I mean, every single person who's played it so far has become addicted to it because it's the gameplay loop. It's a really addictive loop.
I do love quote unquote cozy games. I'd like to talk about every Animal Crossing, even though I think there needs to be major innovations in it because I literally swear it feels like the same game every single gen with just beautiful, better graphics. I know I'm going to piss off a lot of Animal Crossing fans, but it's true. Anyways, besides the point, I do like those type of games, and I do like action RPG kind of type stuff. But the thing is, though, I really wish I could compare. How does it run on Switch, though? Switch, to be honest.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's at 60
I wonder
FPS,
how it would. I wonder if it would be better on my PC or.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it'd be almost exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
The only
so I'll probably get it on the Switch.
The only difference is if you play it on the Switch, then you have access to the game chat and all of that stuff, which is super useful.
Probably. And plus, I need more games for it, dude. I like a toy. I might get Metroid Prime 4 for the mouse stuff, even though I think it's very good. By the way, I did put the mouse thing on here and stuff like that because a lot, you can mess with it. It doesn't feel as good as the mouse.
Did you try a mouse,
I don't know.
Have you tried an actual mouse?
The mouse controllers?
No, your mouse. Take your mouse, plug it into the Switch.
Oh, no, I haven't done that. Oh, okay. Yeah. If that's the case, then it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, it's fully compatible with keyboards and mice. It's 100% compatible. You just have to plug it in.
Dude, Metroid Prime 4, I'll play how it's meant to be played, a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, the one thing from what I hear is like take the left Joy-Con, okay? So you don't have to use the arrows and not arrows, but you don't have to use the WASD stuff. So you would use the left one and use a mouse in order to aim.
That'd be heaven, man. That'd be heaven. I'll definitely try it, but there's no real game for it right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's what I want to try. That's exactly what I want to try. I want to see how that actually works. Okay, so the other little bit of news that I wanted to let you guys know about, because a story is going around which is kind of being blown out of proportion, I think, a little bit, because people are just morons. So basically a news story came out saying that third-party sales, game sales on the Switch 2 are below our lowest estimates and this and that, everything else. Now, what's interesting from this, I guess, is... Where is it? Where's the actual... I want the actual quote. Okay, here. Third-party unit share of all Switch 2 physical software during week 1 reached 40% of all game sales. Okay? Which is double what happened with the Switch 1. So there you go. Everyone is like turning this into a huge negative and this and that, everything else. And it's like, do you guys remember the Switch 1? How bad that was? Like, you basically had Zelda and nothing else. Like, nothing else sold on the OG Switch. And what they're saying here, which there's a couple of things here that are really, really interesting. 81% of physical Nintendo Switch game sales were first-party titles. And I was like, okay, but what are we talking about? And it's interesting of what they're considering Switch 2 software. Because I was like, well, shouldn't 81% be like all Mario Kart? You know what I mean? Like, what? But it's interesting. So they consider in that 81% is Mario Kart World, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm like, interesting. Like,
it is I mean, I guess if it's new sales or something, or
yeah, it's interesting.
I guess.
Like I was.
By the way, I don't know if I can't think of software. By the way, I think I might have talked about it. I don't know if I had time, but I did play Pokemon Violet. I think we talked about it last time. But dude, you're right. That's the difference in frame rates is huge, man. It's like playing a different game.
Yeah,
it's like I see no stuttering. It's sharper. I mean, the visuals are not night and day.
Well, no,
but they're cleaner. They're cleaner. You definitely can see the difference, and it's a frame rate that's so. I talked to Steven about the next, the next one game that's coming out later this year. I hope. If problem is going to be built from the ground up for Switch, we know that there will be a Switch 2 edition.
Yeah, but
we're not going to get a true. We're not going to see a true next gen.
Not till
Pokemon till maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
But even then, dude, they're probably not going to abandon Switch. So it'll be on both. So again, I don't know if we're even going to be getting a quote unquote Switch 2 game for that anytime soon. Because
listen, if it's like
they're not going to abandon Switch.
If it's like the upgrade that we got here, which was just a minimal upgrade, that's why they didn't charge, right, for the upgrade, then I'm not too worried, because I think it will be a much more substantial upgrade, because they didn't even really try and look at the upgrade
it's not really worth it, dude, at this point. I mean, just patch it so the game recognizes the extra RAM, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But that's all it really is about.
Like, I'm really curious later this year to see, because I think you're going to see a bump in the textures and stuff like that.
Guaranteed,
like, I'm pretty sure.
I hope.
So anyway,
that's one thing I love about PC, man, is PC has to be made for all systems. So when you might have a low-end PC when you buy a game and I have to upgrade, you upgrade it automatically, you see a huge difference. So there's no special coding or patches you have to get. So that's one thing I love about PC compared to console. But consoles are kind of getting to that point now, because there's still PlayStation 4 and 5 support, right?
Yeah, and we're also doing these mid-gen refreshes like the PS5 Pro and all that stuff. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting with that article about the third parties, and guys, like, really don't read into that. It's way too early to tell.
And another thing too, I told you is like Street Fighter fans who bought Street Fighter 6 have already bought Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's over 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly. It's an old game. It might. Some people might get it on the Switch just for the now I can play it on the go. Yeah, let's go. I'm on the truck or bus to work, train to work. But the bulk of people have already bought that game.
Yeah,
it's an old game
exactly.
Now. Cyberpunk's the same thing.
Dude, a real example is going to be that new, forget what it was called, that Elden Ring, from Software there.
Well,
whatever.
That's going to sell like hotcakes on all platforms. You know that.
Yeah, but it's only coming out on Switch.
Oh, it's going to sell. By the way, do we have any to let you know? Level 5 just announced. You guys are supposed to are all going to get gifts of Fantasy Life. It sold over 1 million. Sold 1 million copies. Yeah. They didn't say what platform, but that's very good.
It's all everything they do is all platform. Oh, it's called Dusk Bloods. That's the one I'm saying. Like, for example, that's going to sell a gajillion copies.
I guarantee.
If the next Monster Hunter is Switch 2 exclusive, like Monster Hunter Rise was, same deal. Like, same deal. It'll sell like a gajillion units. But the thing, I got to get this out. I haven't finished saying this. Was that the bulk, I don't have the percentage. I'm looking for the news story. I can't find the percentage, but the bulk of Switch 2's games are being sold physically. And that surprised me. It's the only console where that's happening right now. And that kind of, guys, makes a whole hell of a lot of sense of why third-party stuff might not be moving. A lot of folks, at least on the net, so I know, like you said, the keyboard warriors, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I know for me, I won't be buying any physical games, period, at all. But
I stopped years ago, dude.
even if, because like I was nervous with Nintendo, I've always been nervous because they shut their systems down quicker than anyone else, and then you're like, great, like now I can't re-download my game, I can't do anything.
Yeah, makes you wonder, will they do that with Switch 1? Because
I
don't think they will.
That's why. That's the whole reason why now I've switched. To be like, okay, damn it, right now I'm annoyed because if I bought everything digitally, I would have my entire Switch library on my Switch 2, which I'm like, damn it, but I couldn't take the chance back in the day.
No, I agree with, and I told you, I always rip Nintendo apart about how their eShop and all that's a joke. It still really hasn't progressed much in the Switch 2. Like I said, we discussed last week, everything's virtually identical. I don't see any major difference. The only difference is when you boot up the nice animated little thing. That's it.
Well, the store is like way faster. You don't get that.
Loading that
and all that stuff.
About interface.
No. Yeah, it's the same.
It looks identical.
Yeah, it's the same. But anyway, I really wonder how many folks, like, if the number one way people are buying games is physical on this platform for whatever reason. Maybe that's the legacy stuff, like how people were like me in the past, right? Like I didn't trust them. So I was like, I don't want to lose access to Breath of the Wild. That's such a great game. Like I want to make sure I can play that easily. But I also wonder, like, knowing that currently physical is the majority of what people are doing, could that also be why third-party games are not selling? Because technically speaking, they're not physical. You buy the physical plastic, but you download the game. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. And then when I saw that Donkey Kong was 8.5 gigabytes, and right now, all game cards are 64 gigs. I'm like, that's a lot of money manufacturing. That's a waste. Like, why wouldn't you have made like a 10 gigabyte, a 20 gigabyte, 30, whatever? Like, I don't quite understand what's going on there. So I'm curious to see how Nintendo's going to do this, because if they see that sales, like the bulk of people want to buy their games physical, but you can't buy your games physical for third parties, except for Cyberpunk. And funny enough, what's the number one selling third party game by a landslide is Cyberpunk. So I'm really interested. I'm interested to see, like, is there any correlation between these facts, or is it just a coincidence? I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking that more people know about these digital cards than not. But I'm going to be very interested to follow this because I was really surprised. I mean, I'm all in digital now. I'm going to be bugging you in the coming months when things calm down a little bit. I'm going to bug you to pick me up one of the or let me know when you can get the express cards, like when they go on sale and something like that. Because in Canada, I think I told you guys this already, we're totally screwed. You cannot buy those micro SD express cards, whatever the hell they're called. You can't buy any but the Nintendo branded ones, which means you can't get more than 256. And honestly, that sucks. Yeah. I would spend the money and buy a terabyte. Like,
yeah, a terabyte would be good. That's what I would recommend. But honestly, the 256 for most of the Nintendo games is going to be enough for a while. But when you start getting like, I don't know if Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be 150 gig plus to 200 gigs. I mean, Call of Duty's getting up there too. Yeah. So yeah, it could be, that is literally a game or two if you, those large. But like you said, Donkey Kong's 8 gigs. That's
that's the thing, right? Like, so that's where you're 100% right. Like, 256 will last you a long time. If I think Zelda is like 12 or 14 with the 4K texture pack and stuff like that, which that's crazy how little that is compared to pretty much everything else. So yeah, anyway, very interesting. That's all the new news that I wanted to basically talk about. We have tons of old news, but now we only have 19 minutes. Damn it. Look at what you've done.
I know, right? Oh, by the way, thinking of that Fantasy Life, they announced a new DLC, roguelike open world modes coming. I think roguelike games are way overdone now. There are too many of them. At first, it was kind of a nice little small thing, but I don't know. Roguelikes, I think, are overdone. And I'm not a big fan of that genre type thing, but
it depends on how
it depends how it's going to do.
Yeah, how it's implemented, because that open world, that's what I was telling you about. That's the world with the shrines and with all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. And yeah. So now what do you want to do? Because there were all the different conferences.
We have to talk about we could talk about some of the Microsoft stuff. Like Microsoft it's been announced they are, and this is smart because they're kind of taking Nintendo's been doing it for years with theirs, but Xbox is working on a classic program to bring original Xbox 360 games to current consoles. Hear that? Current consoles, not just theirs, PC and Game Pass with enhancements. So they didn't go into too many details with enhancements. I'm assuming that certain games, that means they'll have multiplayer that they didn't maybe, or they'll still bring over their multiplayer. That's actually kind of cool because Xbox and especially 360 had a lot of good gems, man, that a lot of people didn't get to experience. And the fact that it'll be on Game Pass day one for included with our service, I tell you, man, more every day, Game Pass is becoming a much better bang for your buck every day. I mean, at first it was like, whatever, but now it's be kind of behoove you to jump on board because it's just going to save you a lot of money.
So I've been saying this for a while, but like I'm sure you will have a Game Pass app on everything, and Game Pass Ultimate will be that. It'll be everything. It'll be across all platforms. Like you'll have like Xbox Game Pass, you'll probably have like a Switch Game Pass, you'll have a whatever Game Pass, and then you'll have Ultimate, which will be just across the board.
Do you think Nintendo's going to allow it?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. I
Like
can't see why
it's
not.
literally gonna it depends. I don't know how they're gonna do this. So it might start with the legacy. That's what that article was about. Was about like legacy software. If it's legacy software, then yeah, why the hell not? Like all your competitors, you're just making money, right? Like at the end of the day, that's like for Microsoft, they don't care at all. They're just making cash. Like, but their other announcement was really interesting. They entered a multi-year deal with
The
AMD,
AMD, yeah.
and that was for like everything from like their next gen hardware to handhelds to like you name it. But the most interesting part of that whole thing was the comment that they made that games will no longer or should not be locked behind a single storefront. And that got the whole internet ablaze because it's something you and I have been saying forever, where if there is a piece of hardware that allows you to play PC, Xbox, and PlayStation games combined, that's it. Like there will never be another need for other hardware. You basically just monopolize the whole gaming industry type of thing, especially if you start to do cross saves and stuff like that. If you start to do those types of things, you're doing good. And that's why Sony had that emergency executive meeting, because they heard that too, and they were like, okay, well, what the hell do we do? And it's like, well, guys,
they're so behind.
It's like, guys, you do the same thing. You release a PlayStation app that contains all your games.
Which is amazing, because years ago, I don't know, but over 10, 15 years ago now, so PlayStation made a comment, is they said their vision is, they said this, consoles are not the future. Their thing is they want to, and we've talked about this many times over podcasts, that they want the PlayStation brand to be like Steam, basically, meaning that you buy their storefront, and they know the future is not hardware. And I'm surprised they haven't really embraced that notion. They haven't really got the ball going. And
no, I think that was probably the leadership at that particular point in time. But dude, it's going to be interesting as long as these storefronts are free. Because if they become Disney Plus, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and all this, then that won't work. That won't work. That's people just get fed up of like
subscription.
Why do you think piracy is all like back on the rise and stuff? When it was Netflix and you just paid $10 a month or whatever the hell it was, or $5 a month, and you had access to everything, it was awesome. But now it's like $120 a month for all the different.
Yeah, there's comedians who make fun of it. Yeah, I cut the cable, don't have cable, F the cable companies, but now I got Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And they joke about it.
Yeah,
like,
of
it's
course.
Actually worse now
exactly.
than it was back. This old saying is, be careful what you wish for.
Well, precisely. Right? So that's why we got to be careful. Like, we do have to be careful with that, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think what they're trying to do is they want to get their games everywhere. And if they can do that, I mean, let's be honest, the company that can do that can successfully do that, put their stuff everywhere as like a known brand, especially Microsoft now. I mean, God, they're not like, Xbox is no longer a console. Let's be honest. It's now a game studio that's made up of some of the largest game studios in the world. Like, the whole concept of them being one small console type, that doesn't make sense anymore, because you control like half the gaming industry. Like, makes no sense. There should be an Xbox app on the Nintendo Switch, on the PlayStation, on your PC, on every device known to man, and then you sign in if you're a subscriber. And that's what I'm worried about, is the whole subscribing thing. But even if you aren't a subscriber, you should still be able to purchase like those individual titles and play those games on every piece of hardware. So I think that's going to be mighty interesting, man, to see, because I'm telling you, if a box can play Steam, Epic, and Xbox. Oof. Like,
it's gonna be big.
yeah, the
It'll
only
be big.
company that survives that is Nintendo. Like that, they're the only company that survives because they're the only ones that basically, like, you. I know people hate when you say, like, when anyone says, like, oh, people buy Nintendo hardware for Nintendo games, but that is why you buy. It's not the only reason, but it's the reason. Like, for me, like, I was just talking about Mario, right? Like, I want my Mario game, I want my Zeldas, I want my Metroids, and my all these different franchises. But yeah, like, if you're Sony at that point, I really don't know what you do, because, like, it's not going to be hardware. Like, you have to migrate all your stuff, and there's an easy way to do it. You piss off everyone, but there is an easy way to keep your branding and everything alive, is the whole sign in. You sign into the PlayStation Network on your game.
Which
and I know,
really,
I know.
Yeah, which really, these elite. I mean, the whole Helldivers too. The way they handle it was bad. If they would have done it from day one, we wouldn't have had that uproar and stuff like that. Because I mean, Ubisoft does it.
Everybody does
it. Everyone does it, but no one really complains. I mean, people don't like it. I don't really like another account. I have to manage and remember another possibility of a security leak. But you do it at the end of the day. I do like where it's the whole reason for Steam, right? You want just one easy, seamless thing. But unfortunately, I mean, even Nintendo does. You have to have a Nintendo account to access the eShop. So everyone does it.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, dude. Steven and I were playing Split Fiction. We couldn't play online together without an EA account.
And I mean, I can understand it from a consumer. It's like you buy a game. Oh, what extra steps? Yeah, it's annoying. But the whole fiasco with the Helldivers 2, that was a little blown out of proportion, because it is just because people don't like being told what to do or forced to do. So like a day one, you didn't need to do it. Oh, what? I have to do it now, or what? They're threatening me. So yeah, I can understand. They should have done it better from day one. But anyways, that's beside the point. And yeah, thinking of which, the Helldivers 2 developer Arrowhead did say that there will be no Helldivers 3 without Sony. So I guess Sony has franchise. So there's not going to be they're working on another game outside of Sony, but there will not be any other Helldivers without Sony. So it looks like it's a second party game for Sony, which makes sense. So anyways, people will still buy a Helldivers 3 even if they require to log in or not. But
yeah, but I'm curious, because, like, I'm okay with this if you're going to offer cross-platform, cross-save, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, I was saying to a friend of mine, like, I would love if Monster Hunter Wilds was available on the Switch 2, if Fallout 76 was available on the Switch 2, and I could just sign in, continue my progress.
If Fallout 76 was, it would be cross, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. Wow,
No.
I'm bad.
Yeah, it's only, so it's PC, so you could be Steam or Xbox. That's fine. But if you're Xbox, you're screwed.
Which, well, it's an older game. But
yeah, it is a bit of an older
game.
But it does suck.
Anything
because
new,
it would be,
it does suck.
And like Wilds.
But I guarantee you, any of the newer games by Microsoft going forward will have cross. That's their whole vision.
There has to. It has to, and it's so true.
World,
like I would buy another copy, seriously, of like Monster Hunter Wilds. I would buy another copy
on Switch 2.
Just so I had both. I could experience it, lush and beautiful on my TV, but then I could also take it on the go, because like the Steam Deck can't handle it. It runs at like 2 frames a second.
Wow, because I'm going to tell you right now, Switch 2 could do Wilds visuals sleeping. I told you, I don't see what the hurrah of Wilds visuals
its
are.
Optimization though, man, is garbage.
Yeah, dude, they suck.
Yeah,
and
garbage.
That's the thing is you can't use this excuse anymore with Capcom, because Dragon's Dogma 2, look at the reviews on Steam. It's actually a good game, but it optimization is just horrendous.
Yeah.
And I think it's that they just refuse to leave that RE engine, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm going to be really curious to see, because Title Update, I think it's next week. We find out about title update 2, so I'm looking forward to that.
Thinking of which, you hear what Pegasus says. He says the game's boring right now. And I told him that, man, when you get Monster Hunter game, it's not a live service game, man, because he plays a lot of live service games. I said, it's going to have support, then it's going to be a limbo until the next game or expansion comes out, support, and then limbo into the next. It would be
cool. It would be cooler if they did. I don't know, like what I like with Fallout is like
that's what they should do. I know people hate live service.
Yeah, but it's like what I like with Fallout is like you can be as hardcore or as light as you want. So because I'm playing all this stuff on the Switch right now, I'm only playing like Fallout for like 15 minutes a day. That's it. But so long as I do the 15 minutes a day, I'll unlock everything in the season, which is fine. Like that's the whole point. But with Monster Hunter, it was like their season is their title update, but the last title update basically introduced 2 monsters, one of which we already played. And there was no incentive. Like, they have been releasing updates that make the monsters stronger, but no gear. So if there's no new gear, I don't care about fighting. Like, what's the incentive to fight the other stronger monsters? There is none. Like, why am I going to struggle?
Yeah, which is weird because that's the whole point of the update. It gives you new stuff to do, craft and make. But
yeah,
so, I don't know.
We'll
see what they do. The Monster Hunter series is still a good series. It's just I think it's getting to the point where they really need to start. And I know that they had that MMO version or whatever they called of it, and it flopped, which is interesting because you have to remember where it was released. Japan, which we discussed last week, they're more of face-to-face multiplayer, couch co-op, and mobile. So I think that was a real bad market to release a quote-unquote MMO, even though MMOs do well there. Final Fantasy does extremely well, and those Korean MMOs do well. So I don't know. But that's for Capcom. We'll discuss it next week. If you play the title update, it'll be kind of interesting to see your feedback.
I don't think it... Hold on a sec. Let's see. When title update to Monster Hunter Wilds, because I don't think Monster Hunter Wilds... I don't think they gave us the release date yet. Oh, they did. No. Yeah, the 30th. So no, not next week. It'll be released on the 30th, and Capcom will be hosting the Capcom Spotlight on June 26th. So
yeah, that'd be interesting. And like Discord members said, I hope it's some juicy stuff for Wilds, but in general, just for all their games.
No, right? You will. They confirmed like Resident Evil 9 is going to be there. There's going to be like a few other things. And look at that, we actually finished the podcast. Boom.
Yep. And we'll definitely be talking once we get info from that showcase. We didn't even really get a chance to talk about the Konami one. We'll have to. Well, it's old news now, but maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll get back to our indie corner as well. We kind of didn't get the chance to talk about it this week, but next week, guys, we will.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, guys. So we will catch you next week. Hope you're all doing well, and be sure to leave us a comment about some of the things that we talked about. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, what are you guys playing on Switch 2? Mario Kart or Fantasy Life? Looks like that's a big hit.
Well, it's just something we're enjoying. Okay, guys, take care.